Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Cage, where we bring you the latest and exciting updates of UFC. Starting off where Khamzat Chimaev destroys Paulo Costa in latest rant. Did you catch Khamzat Chimaev's recent outburst directed at Paulo Costa? It seems like Chimaev isn't holding back when it comes to expressing his dislike for the UFC middleweight contender. You can't even imagine his frustration as he tries to schedule his next fight. Constantly, he sees fighters, especially Costa, calling him out while he's unable to get back into the octagon himself. All talks, but no action. After the fight against Kevin Holland at UFC 279, he hasn't had the opportunity to compete professionally. As a result, he's left to express his frustrations through social media and interviews. And verbal spats and exchanges certainly add to the hype and drama surrounding potential future matchups between fighters. A verbal face-off, Chimaev said on his YouTube channel. Paulo has spoken a lot of shit about me. That guy, I want to smash him. I want to kill this guy. I was doing a lot of things and he wants to fight with the other guy. The guy, I fought him a long time before, 3 or 4 years ago before UFC. I win against that guy. I think that guy will beat him as well. Paulo is not good. He is sit. He just talks too much. He beat nobody. A close fight against Romero, only fighter he wins against. Other people, I don't know. Nobody knows these guys. I don't know who he beat. However, Costa has a fight lined up against Ikram Aliskerov at UFC 291 in July. Then, Costa seems up for the challenge. It's worth mentioning that Aliskerov's only career loss came against none other than Chimaev back in 2019. That adds an intriguing twist to the story. As for Chimaev, he'll have to exercise some patience and wait for his next opponent. With Costa already booked for a fight and limited options in both the welterweight and middleweight divisions, it's uncertain who the undefeated Chechen fighter will be paired up against next. The matchmaking puzzle for Chimaev might take some time to solve, but I'm sure fans are eagerly awaiting his next appearance in the octagon. Israel Adesanya challenges everyone in the bar to a fist fight. Let's talk about the epic night out of the UFC middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya, with comedian Bert Kreischer. And let me tell you, things escalated quickly. Their night out in New Zealand took an unexpected turn, and before they knew it, Adesanya and Kreischer found themselves pretty lit inside a local bar. But here's where it gets wild. Instead of just enjoying their drinks, they decided to challenge everyone in the joint to a full-on fist fight. Kreischer told Joe Rogan, "He's way bigger than you think and his hands are huge. We end up in a bar at like 3 in the morning. I don't know if he was drinking too much, I don't even know if he was drinking, but we got pretty lit at a bar at 3 in the morning in New Zealand. And he stands up and I stand up with him back-to-back, shirtless, both of us, and we challenge everyone in the bar to a fist fight." Rogan warned Kreischer. This could have gone horribly wrong. Kreischer continued. He stands up and the first words out of his mouth are, "I'll kill every mother F in the room for this man right here." So then my shirt comes off. I thought we were doing a Steve Harvey bit. And then we start going table to table challenging mother Fs. We're like, who wants it? Who wants it? I was challenging the female tables exclusively. We ended up buying the whole bar shots. 3 times. He texted me the next morning like, boom, he's out. I don't think he drank as much as I did. Adesanya, fresh off his redemption knockout at UFC 287, will return for UFC 29 and expected to face the winner of the middleweight showdown. Hopefully, Kreischer keeps his shirt on this time. Anthony Smith thinks Kamaru Usman is in for a tough fight against Khamzat Chimaev. Anthony Smith shared his thoughts on the upcoming bout between Usman and Chimaev during an episode of the Believe You Me podcast. He said, "It's a bold move, for sure. It says a lot about where he is mentally because I think a lot of people were kind of writing him off just a little bit and saying, oh, he's done. He's probably just going to kind of fade off into retirement." But him wanting to fight Khamzat is the total opposite of that. So, Usman has suffered 2 consecutive losses against Leon Edwards, which is quite surprising considering his dominant reign as the welterweight champion. It's a scenario that many thought was impossible for Usman, but now it's becoming a real possibility. According to UFC President Dana White, Chimaev is expected to move back up to the 185-pound division after the turmoil surrounding UFC 279. But with the growing interest in a matchup between Usman and Chimaev, it might just create an opportunity for Chimaev to stay in the welterweight division unless Usman decides to follow Boers up to a higher weight class. An intriguing situation to keep an eye on. Smith said, "I think it's ballsy because of the style matchup. Just the mentality to want to do that. I am curious, though, why Khamzat's been on the shelf for so long. Because he's seemingly been begging for fights, says he'll fight anybody, anytime, is ready to go. Then Belal Muhammad has talked about fighting him at certain points. Kamaru's ready to fight him. There are a couple people that are willing to step up and do it, and for whatever reason just hasn't happened. So it seems like there's something else going on in the background." Tough 31. Contestant recalls about being replaced by Conor McGregor's fighter. Guess who's buzzing with excitement about the Ultimate Fighter 31? It's none other than Mitch Ramirez. He was absolutely thrilled when he found out that he made the final cut for the show. Can you imagine the feeling of getting that kind of news? But when Conor McGregor arrived in Las Vegas to coach alongside Michael Chandler, everything changed. Indeed, buzz turns out to be futile. Although McGregor later denied the claims, Ramirez recalled being informed by one of the show's producers that he was removed for that very reason during an interview. Ramirez said, "What he told me is that Conor landed today and brought 2 of his guys with them. He's demanding they're on the show. He has the prospects. Unfortunately, you have the least number of fights on your record, so you're being replaced." To me, that was just such a blow, such a nutshot. Ramirez was absolutely shocked when he heard the news. In his own words, he said, "What the F?" Just imagine the roller coaster of his emotions. What made it even tougher for Ramirez was that he never heard from UFC President Dana White or McGregor directly about the decision. It left him wondering and feeling a bit hurt. He tried his best not to take it personally, but it was undoubtedly a difficult pill to swallow. Ramirez said, "Here's the thing. I get it. I understand who Conor McGregor is. I understand the way business works. I'm smart enough to understand that it wasn't personal, but it is personal because it's my life, dude." In response of Ramirez, McGregor emphasized his team that this is a unique opportunity to showcase their skills and make a lasting impression on ESPN and in front of Dana White. McGregor said, "To hear that it's going live on ESPN is huge, so I will for sure let the young athletes in this competition know this also. Like I said, it's dogs in the cage we're looking for here. People that are going out to get it. I'm just here to give them a little push along the way." Henry Cejudo, aiming for interim title clash against Sean O'Malley at UFC 292. In the ongoing argument between MMA fighters, Dana White hinted at the possibility of an interim fight if Sterling couldn't return against O'Malley, and now Henry Cejudo is expressing interest in being part of it. "If Aljamain Sterling is playing this game that he's not ready, he needs a little more time. Let's make an interim fight between me and Sean O'Malley," said Cejudo on his official YouTube channel. "It's a bigger fight. It's what the UFC wanted initially. It's the same reason why they brought me out to chase and beat Aljamain Sterling. Yeah, okay, I took a loss. Split decision, I'll take it on the chin, but there's still an opportunity there for me," he further added. "After a 3-year layoff, coming back, losing by split decision, being ranked now number 3, that puts me in a really good position. I wanted Merab, and I'm still willing to wait for Merab. But if that fight with Sean O'Malley happens to open up, I'm 100% in, Dana White." Moreover, it seems that Aljamain Sterling is set to return against O'Malley, so Cejudo may have to wait for another fight. Cejudo expressed his preference to be the backup fighter for Sterling versus O'Malley, but if that doesn't happen, he might consider going after Merab Dvalishvili, a teammate and friend of Sterling who recently underwent hand surgery. All right, guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching till the end. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to stay updated about our future content. See you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye!